When I was about 10, my dad bought a 1978 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ40. This thing was awesome. We took it camping, we did all sorts of four-wheeling. I loved the way it looked, and so did he. I even learned how to drive stick shift on this truck when I was very young. Granted, it was in the desert, so no breaking any laws. Here's some actual footage of me learning how to drive it. Over the years, this truck has become a collector's item, and people have sought it out, and it's gone way up in value. I've always had a fondness in my heart for these trucks, and when I saw this FJ40 Land Cruiser from FMS, which is a 1/10 scale, with the exact same color scheme, I had to get it. So let's unbox this and see what it looks like. First cool part, it comes in its own cooler, which basically looks like a cooler, but is its own carrying case. Oh, ho, 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 there it is. I have this feeling like a kid on Christmas morning or something. I haven't had this for quite a while with an RC or really any purchase, and I think that's because it has such nostalgia for me. So here we go. Wow, the scale detail on this thing is incredible. I know from experience based on the real thing, it really matches up. Toyota produced this 40 series Land Cruiser from 1960 to 1984. I did some research to try to figure out which year model this one is, and it was pretty hard to determine. My best guess is a 1972, but if you know, let me know in the comments. I'd be curious. But it's definitely a 70s year era model. This product is licensed by Toyota, so they really didn't want to mess around with getting this thing correct. Everything from the color, to the badges, to the interior detail on this thing is precise. Looking inside, you can see that the speedometer, the mileage, and everything is in there in detail. There's even this signage on the glove box, which I remember as a kid sitting in the passenger seat going out to a trip. The seats have cushions on them, the ones in the front and in the rear. The ones in the rear even fold up. The top in this is removable. There are screws inside, and just like the real truck, it can be removed and be a convertible. Even the hood opens where it actually would open, and that reveals where the motor, ESC, and battery tray is, which is a pretty cool place to put it, given that it's like a motor on a real car. That ESC is a 40 amp ESC with a 35T550 brushed motor. That's unfortunate that it's a brushed system, but the way I figure is it's mostly going to be a trail truck. This won't be a great crawler, not only because of the lack of the brushed motor, but also it's a bit top heavy, and I don't think that would bode too well on a more technical course. And these tires are super grippy and quite firm, more firm than I would have expected. The wheels with this black look pretty cool, although eventually I'll probably want to change these to something more like the ones that we had growing up. I'll also say that while opening and closing these doors, they do feel a little cheap, and I also feel like it'll be easy to break them. It's relatively thin plastic, and when you close some of them, you kind of have to slam it. Like this doesn't close quite flush until I really push hard. It feels like I'm about to break something. It also feels like if I roll this thing, these are gonna pop right off. This truck comes in 2 versions. It comes in a ready to run or an RS version, as they call it. Neither of them are kits that you have to build. In this case, RTR means that it comes with a battery and a charger. With the RS version being sold right now in the US for $349 and the ready to run version being on sale for $385. It's typically $398, so that would be about a $50 difference. I'll put a link in the description for either version of this truck, but be warned that it seems to be sold out quickly in either version. In my case, I actually went with the ready to run version, A, because that's all they had available in this color blue that I wanted, but B, I figured this battery tray is so small that I'm not sure I even have any 3S batteries that will fit it. So I went with the FMS battery. I was so excited to see when this thing came. Granted, the driver was a little rough with it. In case anyone's curious about the weight, I can test that here. And that comes in at about 7 pounds, 15.6 ounces, so just under 8 pounds. The suspension is a 4-link with 2 solid axles, both lock differentials. It's even got a C-channel frame going around, which is much like what a real truck would have. The shocks have been a point of complaint by many people over the years, and that's because they're friction shocks rather than oil-filled like I'm used to. That does lead to a little bouncing, or a lot of bouncing, as many people have found out. Some people don't like that. Others I have heard say that that gives a little bit more realistic look on the trail, and I think the consensus in large part is that oil-filled would be better. All right, so the battery did come in the mail just now. Here I have it charging on this FMS charger. You can see just how thin this thing is. I can compare it with like this Power Hobby 2-cell battery, and you can see it's almost twice as thick. So if you've stuck with me this long through the video, I know you want to see this thing drive, and I do too. Today is probably the coldest day so far this winter in New England, and tomorrow and the next day are set to have up to 2 feet of snow. So I've got to get this thing out before the snow hits, and even though it's going to be so cold, I'm ready for it. Oops. It backs up fast. I didn't mean to.
Dad, something happened in the back. This thing opened.
So I had so much fun driving out there that this calls for a little more driving action. I'm going to head down to RC Madness and have a little fun down there. The weather right now is a blustery 12 degrees with a real feel of -2. Fun. All right, guys, over here at RC Madness. We'll go over to the crawling area in a minute, but this is where how that battery fits in. It just kind of sits there like this. There's no strap. Oh yeah? You were in that? Oh nice, what's up? You were at Bash Day?
Oh, I got something different for next year.
Oh yeah? So this thing's top heavy.
Yeah, well, I gotta select that.
But it's doing pretty well. Try not to scratch it too much. So me not being an experienced crawler, this is part of the problem. But this thing's pretty top heavy and not like some of these guys here. Does that break?
This size?
So I did not bring any tools with me, but nice guy over there says he's gonna help me borrow some shocks to swap out, and we'll be able to fix this up and give it some more drive time.
You can have them. If I see you again,
What's your name?
I'm Jack.
Jack? Ian. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. All right, so we got one shock on, one more to go. Thanks to the good Samaritans of RC Madness, this thing can drive again today. Trying it outside, we'll see. We got these new shocks on. I don't want to risk destroying it again after 2 minutes of a rollover. So instead, I'm gonna go out into the Arctic cold here and try it on the outdoor course, which is equally as risky, but could be fun. See how it does. I've also don't have the cameras on it anymore, which was adding up to a lot of weight. Oh, gotcha. Those lights look cool. Oh, cliff. Don't want to go that way. God, it's so cold. Oh no, the shock came off. You kidding me?
57 lap 402.2 pace and buddy book 1 with a 0 lap.
Same thing happened again. I don't. So it must be.
Oh, the E-clip. Yeah, that's what happened with that one clip. See it?
Uh huh.
And that's what pulls out.
Oh, okay. So guys, just some brief takeaways to share with you before we wrap up. First off, this was a lot more fun than I thought. Being a basher, someone who loves to jump and go fast, there really is a fun element to this. This is feeling a little bit flimsy in certain areas. It's hard to pick up, and I did realize that that big, nice case that it comes with would have come in handy. I need to start using that when I transport it. Oh, and this is what I mean. Brushed it and the side mirror came flying off. So this thing actually comes with a handle, and that's what it's made for, so I don't know why I didn't think of that. So transport it with that. It's too bad I broke the shock. that is definitely something I need to look into, whether I'm going to go back to the stock setup or look into a better upgrade of a shock. I'm still not quite sure. There's even a kit you can get for leaf springs, which is what the original vehicle came with, front and rear. This isn't a truck I want to ding up too much, more than I already have. As you can see, I broke the door handle here already. Didn't take much to do some damage. I think there's a couple scuffs and scratches already on it as well that, oh yeah, didn't see that. I can see myself keeping this nice and clean, not using it too much, but when I do, taking it for trail runs. This is really more of a trail truck. The tires are another point where you would want to upgrade if you wanted more performance out of this. They're very firm, more firm than you would want on a crawler. One thing was clear, this thing gained a lot of attention. When I was at RC Madness driving it around, or even when it was just sitting on the bench there, multiple people came up to me and commented on it. It's a unique truck, it stands out, and the scale detail is a cut above the rest. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments what you think of this truck, if it's something that appeals to you. I'd really love to hear if there's any people out there that have or used to have an FJ40 Land Cruiser and would love a truck like this. Also, if you have any ideas of upgrades or things I should change, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, like and hype this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.